claims from Iranian state media that the attacks were Mossad operations. So that, of course, they probably were bombing a lot of the GCC countries because they do have U.S. military bases there, and Iran sees the Gulf countries as siding with the Great Satan. U.S. seems like they're preparing more and more every single day to deploy troops. Prayers for all the troops. Hope you guys are safe, but the troops should not fight this war. The troops should dodge the draft. Ain't no Iranian ever called me Goyim. If we get enlisted, you guys got to dodge that draft by any means necessary. This is allegedly, and this is a joke. FBI, DOJ, everybody, this is a joke. But you guys should all be transgender and gay. You guys, so what I say last year, if you try to get us to fight the Iran war, you go, you have to start being zesty, do clock it, be transgender. Anything to dodge that draft, ironically. Clock it. I'm not fighting no war. Okay. Osmond Gold criticized me. I haven't seen that yet. I think he criticized my position in a respectful way. I have respect for Osmond Gold. And we were continuing to see the Israelis dance just like the way they were dancing in Jersey during 9/11. They're in bunkers, they're in basements, they're dancing quite a bit. So Goyim Lives Matter, Goyim Lives Unite, Day 4. The war's not stopping at all. And according to top Goy, Andrew Tate, he said, the war will be over in 24 hours. Dubai got struck again. He said, they're not going to be hit anymore. They're doing it for clout and publicity. I'm just seeing him nonstop talk about Dubai, my taxes in Dubai, my yacht in Dubai. I don't think people seem to realize that Dubai is such an unimportant part of this war. I do like the UAE, I do like Dubai, but this is not what people are fixating on. Not only in the Muslim world, but around the world. I think people really overestimate, especially from the clout influencer space that dominates so much of Dubai. They really don't have a grasp on reality and what people care about. It's narcissistic. It's a lot of materialism going on there, and they should have a little bit of self-awareness and be able to read the room. Nobody cares. So we're going to cover all of that today. I'm going to take some calls as well, too. Dan Bilzerian wants to call in, and Jake Shields wants to call in. So we'll do those on FaceTime. I do like speaking to people on FaceTime more than I like speaking to them on Discord. They're a little more, they don't feel like they're doing content. I saw something too from TMZ talking about Aiden Ross's family. And we have to remember who the people of TMZ are. Allegedly, in my opinion, the CEO of TMZ is he is Jewish, and he is implicated all over the Epstein files. Let's fact check that and show you who these people are. These are not people to be taken seriously. These are not serious people. Osmond Goy Mel. Don't call him Osmond Goy. He's a good guy. CEO of TMZ. Let's see. The CEO of TMZ. Right? Do we have ARL in here? Is Harvey Levin. Kind of like Harvey Weinstein. Managing editor and executive producer of TMZ, having led the celebrity news. Okay, Harvey Levin. Let's do a quick fact check. Let's go to jmail.world. Harvey Levin. Oh, wow. Jeffrey Epstein says Zuckerman suggested earlier. And then Mike Citrick is saying, tried to call you. Harvey Levin, who runs TMZ, is a good friend. They haven't reported this at all. So this guy here is telling Epstein, hey, Mark Levin's a great guy. What else? There you go. He's a good friend, hasn't reported on this, but I might get him to do something. So, Harvey Levin, CEO of TMZ, allegedly in my opinion, he's being suggested in 2011, 3 years after Jeffrey Epstein was convicted of sex crimes. They're saying, he's a good guy. Hey, Epstein, if you need some good news, go hit up Harvey Levin, CEO of TMZ. This right now is who is putting out stories about Aiden Ross's family, which is fake, and it's disgusting. It's evil. These are horrible people. Right now, during a time of war, they're going to go and try to, if this stuff was true, to release this without his doing. Imagine you have a family member, you have issues within your family, and people there are trying to put it out to the public. What's the point? What, to get like a couple $100, $200,000 from AdSense from your stupid website? Fuck Harvey Levin. Fuck TMZ. They tried to ruin Ye's life back when he said slavery was a choice in 2018, 2019. All they do is they clout chase off celebrities and they profit off of death, reporting on people's families, getting involved in their personal life. Adin Ross doesn't deserve that. What's wrong with you? Even if it was somebody not like Adin Ross, who's a great person, great man, let his family grieve. If this stuff is true, let him grieve in peace. This is a private matter. Clearly, they didn't want it out there. You guys are reporting it and getting involved in a personal matter. Do you have any soul? You have any sort of manners, any sort of self-respect? Not only that, Harvey Levin, he's Jewish. Adin Ross is Jewish. You're doing this to a fellow non-goy? What's wrong with you? Fuck TMZ. And this is why these publications are falling off and people don't respect or they don't have any fans, like, because they don't have any supporters. All they do is talk about other people, and they're like vultures. They're literal media vultures eating up a little scraps given that they can find on the internet. Pathetic. So, my advice, give Adin Ross some privacy. I don't even want to show the article. I don't want to give this clout because that's all they want. That's all they do. They're not about anything. They don't provide anything. They just report on other people's lives. So I'm not going to give this stuff any attention. And, you know, Adin Ross is a good friend, and I do have an idea of what's going on. This stuff is fake. Just leave it alone. Let the family be, bro. Adin Ross is a public figure. This family's not. Leave it out. Whatever politics and whatever differences aside, just leave that stuff. Let the family be. Let private people be private, and let the people that are involved in public go at that. You know, you can talk about them if they put themselves public. The rest of the family, they're not. No sort of self-respect or manners. So let's get into the news from today. Oh, my soundboard's not working. I don't know why. It's really annoying me. I want to hit the fa so bad. I want to hit the fa. Niggas can't even fa anymore. I need to plug in my headphones are dying too. I've been putting in crazy hours. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys are going to be here for the whole stream. If you guys have been enjoying the content. A lot of war coverage. Please plug in. Okay. There we go. Why are you acting surprised? Surprised about what? And also, we have Professor Jang emailed back. He's going to be here on March 8th. Soundboard's not working. I'm going to have to do it myself. March 8th, Professor Jang comes back. We need a Jang lecture. We watched 2 Jang lectures and an interview yesterday, and we have them up on March 8th. We can get into that. Let's cover the news from today. Hope you guys are well. Hope everything is good. Is anybody here fasting? Today was a brutal fast. Another long stream today? Every day. Every single day. Order food tonight? Yeah, no, I need to. All right. Let's go see everything going on today. It's going to be a long monologue. Lots to cover. And I am exhausted, so I need high energy in the chat today. I need high energy. I need you guys. I don't look tired, though, right? I haven't been sleeping much at all. Because after I do the streams, I have to do all the research for the next day. I want to stay mentally ready. You know, I had a call with Neon 2 days ago, and I didn't know enough about the Shah, so I did a bunch of research on that. I didn't know enough about the Gulf countries, so I did research on that. I didn't know enough about Iran war strategy, so I did research on that. Then I have to cover the news, and I have to take in multiple sources. I have to do my reading. And it's also Ramadan, so I'm doing extra prayers at night. I'm locked in there. And I'm extra tired because you don't have coffee, and you're not, during the day, you're not as... So it has been, but no, not complaining, not saying woe is me. People do say that, they say that streaming is easier than a 9 to 5 and stuff, but I guess this is what it's like. It's a 24/7 activity. Right now, it's especially important to go live every second, so I don't miss anything. This is a very important time. The hair is growing back, finally, from the blonde. Beard growing in. I think I'm looking pretty healthy, huh? I think, I'm starting to feel like the dead cells from fasting are going away. I think it's starting to, because fasting is extremely healthy. I don't know. My face is looking like a little skinnier. But yeah. Schnaggy's working harder than you. All right. All right. Good to see you guys. What about... Sneako's become a scholar? No, I'm not. I'm just a streamer. I'm just a Goyim streamer. So, the American war, the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, this is him in a couple speeches here. Here's proof that the war that's going on right now, if you guys don't know, we've been covering extensively, is that this is a war about faith. I think a lot of people don't seem to realize that because they don't have any real justification for it. They're not able to explain why we're even doing this war. Marco Rubio is saying that Iran did not pose an imminent threat. Other people in Trump's administration, do you hear what they're saying? They're saying that Iran has been posing an imminent threat for the last 47 years. What does that even mean? How do you pose an imminent threat for 47 years, for half a century? Imminent means direct. Imminent means pressing. It's not a pressing threat if they've been looming around for 50 years. The definition of imminent, let's see, is about the definition of imminent is about to happen. So when people within the White House are saying it's an imminent threat for half a century, that's an oxymoron in and of itself. Now we're seeing Ted Cruz is attacking Tucker Carlson. Ted Cruz is retweeting Laura Loomer. Laura Loomer 2 days ago was trying to get me banned on Kick because she thought I was making too much money. Laura Loomer was tagging the FBI and the DOJ in tweets saying that I need to be investigated because I'm a terrorist. Now, these are people plugged in with the White House. These are people plugged in within D.C., with the Trump administration, going after me. Tommy Robinson is also attacking, and this guy, they're saying that he's been invited to the White House. Not only was he all over the Epstein files, Epstein was calling him a cheap whore, a cheap prostitute. They can get him to do anything for a very cheap price. But now he's attacking, and no matter what he says about Muslims, they're inviting him to the White House. This is what we're up against. But it's not been effective. And they can't beat me in terms of the content output. They can't beat me on rhetoric. Not only that, a lot of people have been afraid of debate. I do get a lot of people saying that I need to get better at debates, but I've been, for the last 4 or 5, I keep crushing everybody. Look at the people that have ran. You know, I would love to have a discussion, not really a debate with Osmongold, but he doesn't do collaborations. I see he's criticizing, and so we'll go analyze that. But I don't think he's gonna go head to head in a conversation with. But it's okay. I have respect for him. Kason, for example, is pushing war, saying that we need to free Iran. Yeah, how's that going out so far? How's freeing Iran going so far, Kason, when they're bombing the crap out of Tehran, the capital? And this is not going anywhere. Now they're hinting at the fact that they're going to deploy troops on the ground. Kason, how's that going for you? You're not going to go fight that war. You're not going to go fight the war for your own people in Iran. You're not going to go fight it for Americans. Not only that, you're so afraid of confrontation, you can't even have a debate. These people are pushing war, and not only will they not fight, they can't even debate their points. Who else has ran? Matt Walsh ran for my debate. Matt Walsh continues to call me a low IQ communist, a far right or far left Haiti sympathizer. And then I'm like, okay, I'm so low IQ, let's have a conversation. Doesn't do it, runs away. Piers Morgan challenges me to a debate. I said, why the fuck would you go to that island, allegedly? And then he runs away from the debate that he asked for. Ethan Klein, Zionist, married to an IDF soldier. He asked for a debate. I accept. He runs away. Crowder tweets publicly that he wants to do a debate. I try to set it up. He stops replying. So, where's the head-to-head? I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I'm on the front line. I'm here. So, and that's why it's really important for me to be doing all the research I'm doing and trying to stay as ready as possible and investing all my time and energy into this. And not only that, like people saying reading is gay, it's not. There's a tweet from Khomeini saying how important it is to read books. You look back at what he's saying and how much he respects and loves Jesus Christ and how Jesus came here to save and how he will return. And you're like, wait, this has a lot in common with the apparent predominantly Christian country of America. I haven't seen Trump say anything about Jesus Christ. Khomeini is saying more and they assassinated him. What's going on? Now we're also seeing more footage of the train stations that are named after Mary, Mother Mary. They have very large Christian communities in Iran and they're bombing the crap out of them. Christian countries bombing countries that house a lot of Christians. The narrative is that it's the Islamic Republic, but there's a lot of other religions, a lot of Jews, a lot of Zoroastrians, a lot of different faiths within Iran. But the bigger point is that this is a war not just against Iran, but this is a war on the Muslim ideology. This is a war on Islam. It's a war against Muslims. The Jewish supremacists are trying to get Christians to go fight against the Muslims through propaganda, to get them to think that they're waging a crusade. And they've been brainwashed because they don't even know the fact that in the Talmud it says Jesus is burning in feces and excrement. Let me show you some examples of why this is a holy war.
And there's no reason why the miracle of the reestablishment of the temple on the Temple Mount is not possible.
Reinstalling the third temple. Do you know where the third temple is? It's underneath Al-Aqsa Mosque. Al-Aqsa Mosque is in Jerusalem, Muslim place of worship.
I don't know how it would happen. You don't know how it would happen, but I know that it could happen. That's all I know.
Yeah, it's not even a Christian place of worship, but the reason there are so many Christian Zionists in the West is because they've been brainwashed to think that Jews are, they also believe that Jews are the chosen people of God. They almost worship the Jews more than they worship God himself. They got to pick a side. People that call themselves Christian Crusaders. Here's Hegseth right here. Secretary of War.
President Trump has also been very consistent. Crazy regimes like Iran, hell-bent on prophetic Islamist delusions, cannot have nuclear weapons.
Muslims can't have nukes, is what he's saying. Muslims can't have nukes, but the Jews in Israel can.
It's common sense.
Common sense.
President
Why?
Trump has also been very consistent.
Why?
Crazy.
So people like this, he's the Secretary of War, but he can't even, one, he's not going to fight in this war, and two, he can't even have a debate about this. He won't debate his talking points.
Crazy regimes like Iran, hell-bent on prophetic Islamist delusions, cannot have
Islamic prophecy. They can't have nukes.
Nuclear weapons. It's common sense.
No, it's not common sense. If it's common sense, then debate your points. Right. If people in the chat are saying Pax Judaica versus Pax Islamica. This is about eschatology. This is about the end times. It's about what has been prophesized. It's not about this imminent threat. There's no imminent threat that lasts for 50 years. It's about the Messiah. It's about who the true Messiah is and his arrival. The third temple. Here's Trump putting a little medal around a veteran. Look at him. Pats him on the back. Good boy. Good boy. It looks like he's putting a collar on a dog. Trump, the draft dodger. Look at him. Mm-hmm. Good boy. Pats him on the back. Well done. Good boy. Oh, yeah. Nice. Yeah, 5-point star. Yeah, it used to